The AI wealth gap is already deciding your future. Right now, a decision is being made about your financial future. You did not vote on it. You were not asked. And most people have no idea it is already happening. Artificial intelligence is not coming for jobs someday. It is here. And the people who understand what that means for money are already pulling ahead of everyone else. Think about the last time you applied for a loan. A human did not review your file. An algorithm did. That algorithm decided your rate, your approval, your future. This is the part most financial conversations skip. AI is not just a productivity tool sitting inside a tech company somewhere. It is quietly reshaping who gets wealthy and who falls further behind. And the gap is growing faster than most people realize. Economist Eric Brynjolfsson at Stanford has spent years studying how technology reshapes income distribution. His research points to a consistent pattern. Every major technological revolution does not raise all boats equally. It concentrates gains at the top first. Then, slowly, benefits spread downward. But slowly is the dangerous word. Because in the gap between those two moments, real people lose real ground. Here is what that means for your money right now. The stock market has already priced in an AI-dominated future. Companies building AI infrastructure have returned extraordinary gains over the past 3 years. The people who owned those companies got wealthier. The people waiting to understand it better did not. This is not about being unfair. This is about how capital works. Money moves toward future value. And right now, future value lives inside AI. But here is the part that nobody tells you. The AI wealth gap is not just about who owns AI stocks. It is about who uses AI to earn more, save more, and invest smarter. And right now, that advantage is still available to you. But that window is narrowing. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler, who won the Nobel Prize for his work on how humans make financial decisions, described something he called the status quo bias. People tend to stick with what they already know even when better options exist. Not because they are irrational. Because change feels risky. And doing nothing feels safe. But doing nothing in a changing economy is not actually safe. It just feels that way. Consider what happened during the Industrial Revolution. Workers who resisted the shift from hand labor to machines did not protect their income. They lost it. Not because they were lazy. Because the world repriced their skills without asking permission. The same repricing is happening right now. Quietly. Inside spreadsheets. Inside hiring software. Inside investment algorithms. Inside the tools that decide who gets approved for the mortgage and who gets the higher rate. Your paycheck is connected to this whether you acknowledge it or not. Here is the uncomfortable truth about the American economy in 2026. AI is not replacing all jobs equally. It is replacing specific tasks within jobs. The tasks that can be automated. The tasks that require no judgment, no creativity, no human relationship. And those tasks, historically, were the foundation of middle-income wages. Routine cognitive work. Data entry. Basic analysis. Customer sorting. Document review. These were once the skills that guaranteed a stable paycheck. Now they are the exact skills AI handles faster, cheaper, and without breaks. Research from McKinsey Global Institute estimates that up to 30% of work tasks across the U.S. economy could be automated by 2030. That does not mean 30% of jobs disappear overnight. It means 30% of what your paycheck currently pays for becomes less valuable. And when your skills become less valuable, your negotiating power shrinks. When your negotiating power shrinks, your income flatlines. When your income flatlines while prices keep rising, your wealth falls. This is the invisible mechanism behind the AI wealth gap. Most people never see it working. They just notice that something feels harder. That getting ahead feels more difficult than it used to. That saving feels impossible no matter how careful they try to be. But there is another side to this story. The same technology creating this gap is also creating new pathways to wealth that did not exist 5 years ago. Think about what AI can now do for an ordinary person with a laptop and a few hours a week. A decade ago, producing professional-grade content required expensive equipment, a team, and years of skill. Today, AI tools can help one person produce what used to require an entire department. A decade ago, analyzing the stock market required a Bloomberg terminal, a finance degree, and Wall Street connections. Today, AI-powered tools surface insights in seconds for anyone with an internet connection. A decade ago, starting an online business required knowing how to code, design, and market simultaneously. Today, AI can handle the parts you do not know while you focus on the parts you do. This is what Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing, understood long before AI existed. He taught that markets are not always efficient. That mispriced opportunities exist. That the investor who stays calm, informed, and patient while others panic will consistently come out ahead. Today, the mispriced opportunity is not a cheap stock. It is a cheap skill. The people who learn to use AI as a tool for earning, investing, and building wealth in the next 2 years will have an advantage that compounds for decades. The people who wait will pay a premium to catch up. Here is what that looks like in your actual financial life. Side income has never been more accessible. AI tools can help you write, design, analyze, consult, and create at a professional level even if those skills are not your background. People are building income streams around their existing knowledge by letting AI handle what they do not know. Investing has never required less starting capital. Fractional shares, automated investing apps, and AI-powered portfolio tools now give ordinary people access to strategies that were once reserved for high-net-worth clients. The minimum to get started has essentially dropped to zero. Financial education has never been more available. The gap between what wealthy families teach their children about money and what most Americans never learn is finally closing. Not because schools changed. Because information is now everywhere. But information and action are not the same thing. This is where most people lose. Not because the knowledge is hidden. Because knowing something and consistently doing something with that knowledge require completely different brain systems. His research showed that humans operate in 2 modes. Fast, emotional, reactive thinking. And slow, deliberate, strategic thinking. Most financial decisions happen in the fast mode. You feel anxious about money so you avoid thinking about it. You see a good deal and spend before calculating. You hear about AI changing everything and feel overwhelmed instead of curious. The wealthy people pulling ahead right now are not smarter. They are using slow thinking where most people use fast thinking. They are asking different questions. Not how do I survive this change? But how do I position myself ahead of it? That shift in question is worth more than any single investment. Here is what positioning ahead of the AI wealth gap actually looks like. First, protect the income you already have. Understand which parts of your job are most vulnerable to automation and which parts require what machines still cannot do. Human judgment. Emotional intelligence. Creative problem solving. Relationship building. One income stream is how most Americans live. One income stream is also one layoff away from a financial crisis. The most financially resilient people you know likely have multiple sources of income. AI has made building that second stream more accessible than at any point in history. Fourth, automate your savings and investments before your spending adapts to your income. Every raise, every bonus, every side income dollar that touches your checking account is at risk. Your brain will find a use for it. Set up automatic transfers before your lifestyle has a chance to expand. This is the move most financial advisors recommend and most people never actually do. The AI wealth gap will not announce itself. There will not be a moment where the news declares that the window has closed. It will just quietly become harder to catch up. The investments will be more expensive. The skills will be more competitive. The income gaps will be wider. Right now, you are still in the early period. The period where acting looks optional. But this is exactly when acting matters most. Because wealth, real wealth, does not come from one big decision made at the perfect moment. It comes from many small decisions made consistently before the moment feels urgent. The AI wealth gap is not a story about technology. It is a story about timing. And timing, unlike talent, is still entirely within your control. Right now, a decision is being made about your financial future. The only question is whether you are the one making it.